talking shit. Okay, talking shit. November 22nd, 2020. 2020. I am on vacation, but the grind don't stop. Do you know what I am saying? The grind keeps going. We keep, bringing shit out there. This isn't, really part of my job. This is the side hustle. So there is no vacation from this. So let's really recap what all went on last week. A lot of shit went on last week. I see a lot of people in the chat getting trolled saying, you sound so fucking good. And I wasn't even on. I was making sure that everything was good. But some people were like, oh, Alex, it sounds so good. His monologue started. And people were freaking the fuck out. Like, where are you? I can't see him. Let me turn this shit up. Get some more light my way. Okay, guys. Thank you. Telling me I sound good. Excellent. Michael Charlton, Pussy Pounder. Steven Gardner, Jermaine. So, before I get to the Mustang stuff with Manuel Gomez and Midnight Performance, which was an amazing feat, I want to talk a little bit about some guy called me out last week saying that I am not talking about Chevy's electric bullshit because they supposedly put out that there's going to be a Hummer with like 1,000 horsepower and 8,000 foot-pounds of torque. Look, man, unless that bitch is not doing all-wheel drive bitch or burnouts and a big stupid fucking pad, I don't care. Chevy could say anything they want. I don't care until they show me something. So when I got on Ford's case, I was like, at least I was saying some shit like, hey, show me something. And then boom, all of a sudden, electric Cobra Jet, electric Mach-E, doing some badass shit. But let's get right to Manuel Gomez. And then we'll talk a little bit about the track rental that Lund Racing went to. No header giveaway, but yes, that is Ultimate Header again, hooking a brother up. Ultimate Header made sure to provide some headers for the red car. But I'm still waiting on a Circle D converter that I ordered last week. I think they're going to ship them out on the 2nd, so I'm not going to do the headers until I get the converter in so we can do everything at the same time. And because of that, let's put up an Ultimate Header little box right here as the show sponsor. So if you went out there and you got a built motor and you got everything that you thought you needed 1 or 2 years ago to run 850, 840, 830, whatever, and then you see Manuel Gomez at Midnight Performance with a stock unopened. And you know what blows my mind? That people still say, does it have stock oil pump gears? What the fuck about stock unopened do you not fucking understand? It is unopened intake to oil pan. They have never taken it out. Never. So, if you had a $17,000 engine, a $7,000 trans, and you did everything you could, and your car's an 850, 840 car, then you see Manuel Gomez out there going 8.0, I would understand why you would be hesitant. Be like, wait a minute, that's not possible. The internet told me that I have to do this, and I'll go this. Luckily, we're lucky enough, Lund Racing, to be affiliated with a shop like Manuel Gomez, and we stick it through. A lot of people talk some shit because, he's a controversial figure. He likes to talk some shit, but I love that he backs it up. He talks his shit, backs it up, had some issues with motor people before, kept trucking. Now his stock motor Gen 3, customer stock motor Gen 3 is out there getting it done. Now, he did put out a list of what it costs to build that car. So, this is the list via his Facebook page. And I'm going to pretty much basically outline everything that he has listed. So let's start with the car. $38,000 to $42,000 cars, depending on the trim. Okay, that's what the car is going to cost you. A Gen 3 brand new Mustang. Turbo kit, his own. That's right. Manuel Gomez is out there actually making his own turbo kit. Homeboy learned how to weld and was like, hey, home, fuck it, man. I'm going to do it. He's not Mexican. I don't know. I think he's from somewhere else. But it's, hey, man, I'm going to make my own turbo kit, home. And he did. And he got his own turbo kit, routed it, fixed some things that he thought needed improving. So turbo kit, $9,500. Sounds like a lot. Order a Whipple kit, order Odin kit. You're probably there. Fuel system. I'm sure it's a 4 Innovations triple. $2,500. Injectors, $900 to $1,000, depending on which injectors, 1050Xs or 1300s. A Lund tune with an N-gauge, $1,100. An AMS 2000. Now, you guys got to understand, a lot of you guys are out there buying turbo kits, and you're forgetting the most crucial aspect of the turbo system is controlling it. Controlling the ramp in rate, the boost, peak, everything. He has the one we recommend, where you're going to go bad boy turbo shit. Like when you tell me, yo, I want to go all out, and I'm like, oh, what boost controller do you have? And you're like an E-Boost 2. And I'm like, well, you ain't that serious. You want to go fast, but you ain't that serious. AMS 2000 for the boost controller, $2,600. Yeah, pay to play. Guys, you got to have a little money to play this shit. If not, there's plenty of RC cars. There's other hobbies, frisbee golf, whatever the fuck you want to do. Suspension, $3,000. K-member, $500. Converter, $1,750. Stage 2 trans, his own proprietary design of the 10R80. $3,000. Button setup, meaning the two-step and the trans brake situation, $600, meaning I'm sure it's labor and parts. Axles, I'm sure it's G-Force or DSS stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but he just put it out there. $1,400. Spark plugs, $100. Wheels and tires, which again, you can have family dollar stars, but he decided to go Bellac or B-Lac, whatever you want to call it. $6,500. Guys, the build sheet is actually still small, even though there's some big ticket items in there. He included brakes, $2,000. Cobra Jet hood, probably doesn't add anything or take away anything, but it looks cool. $1,550. Tint, because tint really matters when it comes to racing. But he listed it just for the fucking hell of it. $200. And the trunk, the carbon fiber trunk, $1,200 for a total of about $40,000. So guys, if you know a GTR owner, if you know a C6, C7 owner that was going balls to the wall with a Power Glide and a Pro Charger, if you know any of those guys that went full motor crazy, trans crazy, all this stuff, they probably spent $60,000 to $70,000. While Manuel Gomez, with a lot of R&D, a lot of back and forth, a lot of using our knowledge and his own knowledge, ended up building a very stout combo. They didn't know it was going to go 8.0s the first time out. Off the trailer went 8.4. They're like, fuck it, we're swinging for it. And then boost kept going up and up and up. I don't have the particulars on it. If you guys have questions, you know what? If you guys have questions, you talk to the builder. And don't hit him up on Facebook wasting his fucking time. He's got to make some money. So don't be like, hey, man, what'd you do to the car? And he'd be like, hey, Holmes, you want it? Cut a fucking check, drop it off, and I'll do it to yours. I'm not going to give away the recipe all the time to everybody so you can try to duplicate it and say you're King Dingling. But they listen to us. They've done a lot of R&D and research, and they were able to go out there and run 8.0s. 8.0s on a stock, unopened motor. What's the car weigh? Probably 3,500 pounds, I would say, because there is some weight reduction. Not the full King Daddy Houston gut. It was just, some Kirkies. Dash is still intact. Everything's good, as far as I know. And it was super impressive. And I'm very proud of the guys down there. Not that they give a fuck about what I got to say, but it's good to be affiliated with someone like that. That really pushes the envelope. 8.0 on a stock motor? Before you LS nut swingers tell me that it's been done with LSs, I'm saying intake to oil pan has never been unbolted. Boost, E85 or C85, I forget the fuel, or ethanol 1, or whatever it is, 9.85 stoic fuel. Fuel system, bolt-on parts, and then his own turbo kit, his own proprietary setup for the trans, 8.0. Imagine being a GTR guy right now, $150,000 in, and your car's an 820 piece of junk. Not that that's slow, but it's a triple the amount of money. So if you're not a brand loyalist, and you're like, I just want to go fast, what do you think that car would do if it hadn't built short block? Built short block. I'm saying build short block, stock heads, stock everything else, just to build short block so they can up the boost more comfortably. You wouldn't do that? You wouldn't drop off your car at Midnight Performance and go, here's $55,000 and get me a built short block. Your turbo kit, your trans, everything you just did, rinse and repeat, the same combo, rinse and repeat, same combo. That same combo, John would just have to drag and drop the tune. Yeah, buddy, copy paste, Control V all day. But that Control V took about 2 years of R&D, motherfucker. The Control V wasn't done in one day. It's done by you guys that copy it, but the people that made it, now they can Control V all day and charge you for the Control V all day. And don't hate on it. It's probably on version 8,000 right now. So especially Manuel's and stuff, because they have gone through a bunch of iterations and now they have a winning combo. And I'm proud of them. And hey, congrats to them. Big ups to them. for making it happen down there in Houston. 8.0 stock motor Gen 3. People must have been call your people. If you haven't heard from anyone in a week that was trying to get after it, call your people. Make sure they haven't hung themselves because of this. I'm telling you, a couple of people, I guarantee, had chairs and nooses set up just in case. Just in case. But imagine head studs and a built short block on that hoe. Woo-wee! That would have been amazing. Then the track rental. Let's talk about the track rental that I went to Tuesday up at Lund Racing. Dude, that was so much fun to be able to see the Grey Goose on its second time out with just run-of-the-mill stuff, UPR parts, a couple of, exotic parts, getting after it. 60 foot wasn't too aggressive, so we're going to have to upgrade the bushings back there or make sure the anti-roll bar is stiffer. And it went 786, 182 on like 28, 27 PSI. We still got 10 more pounds of boost to go if you want. So we think it'll be a 750, 740 car. It still has a 6R80. That's right, guys. Hate all you want. 6R80. And it gets after it, and I'm really glad to see that it did roll well. So what we're going to do is definitely push that car a little bit, and then we're going to be at what used to be World Cup. Now it's like a Rousey Roundup Derby, whatever that's called. It's some Pinewood Derby. I don't know what the hell they're calling it. Basically, it's a 5-day test and tune, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Why? I think they're going to actually have a bunch of call-outs. It's going to be a 5-day grudge race. That's really what it's going to be. So we're going to be up there, and we're going to try to get 10 runs in on the best track conditions and weather that there is available to most racers all year. So we're going to go up there November and see if we can beat our own record from the Blue Goose, run a 50, maybe a 40. If there's meat left on the bone, turn it up, see whatever John's comfortable doing or running, and that'll be great. Then, Mr. Randall Hadid, who has just dropped his balls in the chat for $100. Thank you very much, Mr. Randall Hadid. Asked me at the rental, hey, Alex, you want to go and drive the tax collector? Everyone knows that GT500. I made a video on it way back when. It has like 100, I think that video has like 200-something thousand views on my channel. Donnie Renfro was part of building it down at Power by the Hour. Power by the Hour built it. The previous owner selected the parts really well. Turbo 400 trans, badass converter, badass trans, 5.8 built, Whipple 4.5, custom Wilson inlet, Wilson ported lower. I think it has like a 10% or 15% lower, 3.5 upper, running on C85. And off the trans brake, I did a foot brake run, and the spark plugs were obviously no good. Came back, changed the plugs, did a trans brake run, ran 8.3, then bumped up the timing to about 20 plus degrees, and it ran at 8.13, guys. I've never been in that car before in terms of racing. I moved it around the parking lot a couple times. I've idled it, but I wanted to buy it when it was down here in Florida. I still want to buy it. I just know I can't swing it. I just know I can't swing that car. But rest assured, once the Fairmont is all squared away and I run my number and I know to take the Fairmont to the next level requires a cage and chute and a bunch of suspension work, that's when I'm going to really have to start looking at the Fairmont and going, I love you. You served your purpose, but you might have to go, if I want to play at the 8.0 790 level safer, efficiently, and I cannot duplicate that car. I cannot. If I gave you a GT500, 14 GT500, and say duplicate this guy here, who in the hell? Okay, some people just give me $100 and I don't even know who the hell they are, so I got to get to them. I don't think I could duplicate that car for $100,000. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think I could duplicate the GT500 for $100,000. It is the amount of work. If you knew the amount of work that is in that car to make it go down the track, not only consistently, but like clockwork, but bam, but that bitch could be an 8.0 index car easily with a couple of tweaks, a little more boost, a little weight reduction, a different wheel tire combo. I'm telling you, that can be a badass high 770 to an 8.0 car consistently. Like it's fucking job. And that thing hooks on sand. It hooks on sand. I mean, the suspension setup, we looked at the suspension settings and we were like, this doesn't make any sense. But it has a 325/50/15 tire, ET Street R, 15 by 10, and a 17.5 up front, and it just works. So, and then our white GT500 went 1027 Pump gas, we tried Torco, but we just ran out of time and it didn't mix in properly. It got more mile an hour, but it didn't ET any better. So 1020 on pump gas on the 2020 GT500. Pulley, free-flowing exhaust tune. That's it. Free-flowing exhaust, no headers. Ultimate Header does make 2020 GT500 headers. One of the few people that make 2020 GT500 headers. So maybe that car will get one. The new owner will get a set, or just leave it as is because it's a 1020 pump gas. I drove it to the track on that tune. Then Junior tweaked it and messed around. And with Dakota, a lighter driver, and maybe better weather, and E85, that's a 9-second car. I'm sorry, that's a 9-second car. All day, full weight, R888s, forged line wheels, a good time. Okay, let's get right to it. To the paid and then the peasant. And Mr. Randall Hadid, who did check in. Hey, again, thank you, Mr. Randall Hadid, for allowing me to drive that car, man. It was a bunch of fun. I was crewing most of the day. I was helping guys get down the track, helping Senior, helping Junior, helping Dakota, Brandon, all the guys. And he said, hey, have some fun in the car. And it went 8-1 like nothing. And supposedly the previous owner said it has been 4s in the 8th. I can't verify that, but according to him, it has. But the quickest I can get it to go was 5-1 because it was mid-wheelie and I shifted into second. And it has a Kenny Bell 168 throttle body adapted into the blower. And the throttle body is doing some funky closing thing. So we can either look into that, have the throttle body rebuilt, and go out there again and get after it. But we'll see. And if it ends up in South Florida in my possession in a couple of years, that would be awesome. Or sooner than later. Or hell, if Randall really wants to party, he'll let me campaign it. Meaning, hey, ship it down to Florida. I'll take it to Texas 2K, Florida 2K, World Cup, and a couple more races, Mod Nats. That thing will show out real good. Put a big sign in the back, whatever the fuck you want to do. I'll campaign it. You write it off your business. Just a thought, just a thought. Wishful thinking. Okay, guys, let's get to it. Thank you for listening to my opening monologue again. Congrats to Manuel Gomez. Sincerely, badass shit. Seriously, badass shit to be able to do that. And congrats to Senior, Randall, all the people that did well at the rental. Now, for today's giveaway, I already gave away the crank support last week. Mr. Wendell is getting it sent to him. I got to get him his tracking number. Today, we're giving away a dead rat. That's right, a dead rat. An SETX4 part number 7015E Ford. In the wrapper, still has a sticker. I have not opened it. You know, Mr. I think it's Matt 2011 GT provided it. And I thought that was really nice of him. He just shipped it down and said, hey, I got a dead rat. So you want it for the giveaway? And I'm like, yeah, sure, that'll work. So he's provided it. And I'm going to give it away to you guys. And as always, the highest like comment in this video by next week, we'll get the SCTX4. I already gave away and shipped the injectors. I already gave away and shipped the MFP crank support last week. And today, we're doing the next 4. And then we'll see what we can do about next week. We'll work on that and let you guys know. I'm trying to have the item be at least $500 and up. You know, because it kind of matters. That's kind of a nice little prize. But I'm not asking you to subscribe or nothing. Fuck, I don't give a shit if you subscribe. Just comment, have the highest like comment on this shit, and you should be good to go. Okay. David Jaffrey says, hola, vato loco, ¿cómo está, co? Why you drive, race, collect, BF, Mary, kill style? Apoyo, préstame gasolina. Esto no hay comida. He's asking, what would I drive, race, or collect? Collect. I would love to collect Fox Body Celine Mustangs. I love the different variations. They had 85, 86s. I don't know if they had I'm sure they had previous years. They were put together with wood screws. If you own a Celine Mustang, you got a fucking rat. Okay? Understand this. You own a rat. It's a piece of junk. Got wood screws holding on the body kit. It's a hunk of shit. But it's rare. You know, and I'm not looking to race it or nothing. I just want to have it. I just want to look at it and say, I have it. It's mine. Racing, I'd love to race like a Porsche GT3 RS. That is, to me, sex. I saw one going down the street today when I was going to Parts House with Perdomo. I'm like, God damn, that thing sounded great. You hear the turbos because the exhaust is like right dumped by the turbos. It sounded mint. And then which one I would drive on a daily basis? I want something comfortable. So I'm getting to that age. That's right, guys. I want 4 doors and fast. And Randall Hadid let me drive, I think it's like an M something, an M7 or some shit. Like a 1080 BMW. And that thing was sick. And I went, yeah, I could do this shit. So I would do like a Audi RS7. You know, the big one with the wing that comes up and down, 4-door, big fucking car. I daily the shit out of that Audi. I would collect Celine Mustangs, and I would race GT3 RS Porsche. Yeah, exactly. Fuck the Mustang shit. John Lund gave me $100. I appreciate you very much. I'm enjoying my vacation, working on cars. Hopefully you got your little toy situated. I heard you had a successful trip with your new acquisition. Congratulations on that. I Swallow Cum says 2019 10R80 planning to do TT, twin turbo. I spoke with Helene and they said on lowered card clearance isn't an issue on the 18 plus. I'm on iBox Sport lines. Think I'll have an issue if you prefer top mount or sleeper. I prefer top mount if you can swing it, because it looks really cool when you open the hood. But if they're telling you it's not going to be a clearance issue, believe them. Depends on where you live. When I lived in Houston, getting in and out of a plaza, like to get food or something, they had these sharp V-shaped. It would scrape every single time. And I was on H&R SS's, and I was like, this is so fucking stupid. So if you have turbos underneath, about the last thing you want to do is hurt them things. So do yourself a favor and don't make a ride height an issue. Have some lowering springs that aren't too aggressive, but I think I'm on iBox Pro Kit, and I don't think that's too low, but I do have 20s, so that might be helping with my ride height and clearance. Well, but I prefer the top mount, basically. David Jeffrey says, a Shelby Dave specific question. Which specialty GT500? Was it the KR, Shelby 1000, or 500 Super Snake? What? I don't even know what he's asking. He said, which specialty GT500? If I'm going to buy a GT500, it'll be the Shelby 1000 because it runs on race gas and it has a big blower on it. That's the one to get if you're going to be a Shelby homosexual. Oh, man, if you look closely back there, I have a YDBT hat, which, guys, if you go to the Teespring site and buy a hat, actually, don't buy a hat. I'm going to remove that from the thing. It is awful. It is sideways. The print is sideways. It is dumb. But look at the hat at the end. That is a Shelby logo with an American flag on it. I went to the Shelby store and bought the douchiest hats they had. I have that. It's an American flag. Look, I love the American flag, whatever. That looks so fucking dumb. And it has a dumb snake on it. And I'm going to wear that with one of those hoodies that has looks like I'm sponsored, like Ricky Bobby would wear with Wonder Bread and shit all over him. I'm going to wear that. And I'm going to wear a jacket, a Cobra jacket that allows you to put your name in the back. Yes, Shelby American is now allowing you to put your name in the back, aka Shelby Dave. Some guy actually had a plaque thing, whatever, decal that says Shelby Steve. I'm like, you fucking douchebag. Holy shit. It's hard to be the douchebaggery of Shelby, guys. Very hard. Abel, S550 GT says, bitcha, what's the best shop to get my Gen 2 short block built around the central South Florida area? Apoyo chocha troca que. Fast Forward Race Engines. I think the Siley guys, Siley and them use Fast Forward. I think there's also RPG. I wouldn't stick to Florida per se. You know, I like L&M. I like Livernois. RPG, Fast Forward Race Engines. I think Fast Forward is in and TKM. Sorry, and TKM also. So I think all of those guys would do real well. But you see, look, I think the owner of the 80 GT that Midnight built, he understands that's just on borrowed time. Like if it pops, he'd be like, yeah, I get it. You know, it's a bone stock motor built on a Wednesday. It seems to be holding up. It doesn't mean that every single motherfucker out there is going to be able to make 1100. I've seen NA motors blow up, because the cylinders weren't honed round. It was like oval cylinders. So he just has a good one. And I'm sure there's engine shops saying he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. I'm sure it's built. Manuel will bet you money. If you're a betting man, he will bet you money just to prove a point, and he'll disassemble the engine live to show you that bitch is stock. Abel, that was Abel's question. David Jeffrey's back. He goes, finally, Senior's gap tune loaded in the chat. Yeah, John, it's very generous. I appreciate it. Static Sanction says 17350 with a Whipple 2.9 getting tuned by you all. What's the easiest way to get dialed in remote dyno session? When to ask ahead of time. Look, this is what I would do if I were you, Static Sanction. Get everything we need on the street. Idle, slow rev, cruise logs, everything. Cold start. Get it all done. Drivability, done. Till the Lunds give you the okay. Then, about a week ahead of time, or at least 4 days ahead of time, get a dyno session scheduled. Say, hey guys, I want to do the final watt pulls, meaning fifth gear to 70 or 8200 RPM on a 350 on a dyno in a controlled environment. And I guarantee you will get revised once or twice and you are done. But you got to get set up. Meaning if your appointment's at 9, that doesn't mean get to the dyno at 9. That means you are strapped in at 9. strapped in, cars at operating temperature, and you say, ready to party. Don't give me this, oh, I showed up to the dyno late. Fuck that. Don't be a fucking cunt like that. Get to the dyno, get strapped in by 9 a.m. Because if the appointment's for 9 and you hit us up anytime after 9, you are late and you're pissing us off. We got a lot of shit going on. We'll get you taken care of efficiently. Boom, boom, boom. 2 or 3 revisions and you are done. It's just timing, fueling, because everything else was dialed in on the street. Static sanction. Randall Hadid, the owner of the tax collector. He should call it something else because it's not the tax collector anymore. It's now Randall's car. But everyone knows that it's the tax collector, so it'd be cool to see him change the name up. But yeah, gave me $100, man. I appreciate you letting me drive the car and for the heavy donation. And someone called KC526, no idea who you are, gave me $100, and it looks like it's a woman on the profile picture. Hey, she wants some of that bitch, Bondo Bird, he's in the house with the Coyote swapped Firebird. Bondo Bird is the owner of the Coyote swapped 60s Firebird that's fucking killing everything right now. It's like a 1070, 1060 car. He says, what would you do and why? Stay NA with a G101 or go Whipple with a Calamar Stage 3? I'll probably go with a slipper clutch either way. Oh, and I'll run gear vendors with a G101 street car. So I don't think you can run a slipper clutch with a MT82. Unless Blackmagic or whoever makes a slipper clutch specific to the MT82, I don't think you can run a slipper clutch on a Ben Calamar Stage 3. I know some people have a clutch tamer, which is a hydraulic piece of equipment that slowly engages the clutch. I don't think that works that well, to be honest. I think a legit slipper clutch works really well. So I would do a G101 with a slipper clutch if you can swing it. If you want more of a street-oriented vehicle that you can drive around a lot and then occasionally race it, Bondo Bird, Whipple with a Ben Calamar Stage 3. We just had a guy go 8s. Not we don't do anything, but me, I consider myself a Ben Calamar customer. Had a guy go 8s with a MT82, destroying the record by like 3/10. You know, it's like an S197 turbo car with black badass went 8s with an MT82. So as long as you have a fuse, aka a slick back there, you should be okay to go, brother. El Coyote says, hey Alex, I already paid for my On3 turbo tune, but we'll also be replacing my MT82 with a Turbo Hydro 400 in a month or so. Do I need to pay for retune? No, you don't need to pay for retune. If you pay for your tune and have not sent in any logs, I think we can revise it because that's an easy revision because the car is manual. We just have to make a couple of changes so that the turbos spool up properly. But I believe, do not quote me, fucker. Don't say Alex said. You can reference this video and I'll say, do not quote me when I say I don't think we'll have to charge you. It's a simple revision, I think, unless I'm way off on that shit. But I think manual to Turbo 400 is a simple revision, whereas a 6R80 to a Turbo 400 is a whole new tune. So you might get charged then, but I think you'll be okay, El Coyote. That's over. GT's California Special says, spun bearing on two Gen 1s. Should I build my Gen 1 or Gen 2 bottom end? It's stock other than free-flowing exhaust and a Lund tune. Gen 2. Stock Gen 2 bottom end. Bada bing, bada boom. If you can find them, you're done. David Jeffrey says, Yola from Springfield sends his regards. Yeah, I can't play that video anymore. They do a copyright restriction and all the money's gone. Tavian Hackwell says, I know your thoughts on the 2.3, but what's your opinion on the Focus RS and the guys who tune it? It's been my dream car for a while. I'm 17, by the way. Jesus, so I can't crush his dreams. He's lived such a long time. Keep up with the great work. I've learned a lot from you. Tavian, the 2.3 RS is fine. That motor is no better than the I don't know what size the RS motor is. It's not a 2.7, it's a 2.3, I think. It's not any better than the Mustang version, okay? If you're moderate with timing and boost, it'll last you a long time. So I would just get a tune, a downpipe, a good intercooler, just to make sure the air charge temp is low, and don't go crazy with it. Just don't go crazy with it. Enjoy the fucking car as is for a long time. A lot of people get a car and immediately want it tuned. Like, I know guys that hit us up and they're like, hey, orale home, I got a 19 and I got a check engine light and it says cam codes. I'm like, take it to the dealer. Take it to the dealer. Like, you don't have to get it tuned right away. And if you do get it tuned, but the car's mostly stock, don't hit us up for issues. The tune is fine. Oh, it's been good for months. And then all of a sudden you have an issue like a VCT code or the rear end blew up. Take it to the dealer. Don't go. Some people buy a brand new car and rag it out immediately. And then they lean on us to do everything tech. They use us as Google. You know, they literally say, Hey, I got a code. It's PO420. By the way, you won't get that code with us. PO420. Okay. Did you Google that? No. Then Google that shit, guys. And if you have an issue with stock equipment, take it back to the dealership if it's under warranty. Nope, they absolutely come back at us like we now own their vehicle. Guys, if you have a nice RS and you are enjoying it, get an intercooler, bro. Get a downpipe. Get a little nice tune, nothing too aggressive. And you're relegated to pump gas anyway. There's no reason to rag it the fuck out. I know it's your dream vehicle. Trust me, you will get tired of that, Tavian. You're going to be like, this is cool until you're about 21, 22. And you start getting gapped by Mustangs. And you're going to say, I want a Mustang. And then when you get to my age, you're going to say, I want an Audi RS7. Fast, but comfortable. And you can smash in the back all day. When do you recommend catch cans? Gen 1 car TVS making 620 daily driven stock. I recommend catch can stock. Guys, right now, if you have a bone stock Mustang and you have that line that goes from the cam cover, or, cam covers, valve covers, there's a line that goes from there to your throttle body. Remove it and just run your finger inside it. Bitch is full of oil. So I like running a catch can, even NA. It's boosted, absolutely. You got to run a catch can just to keep the oil out of the combustion process. That's all. Misfit GT500 said, "What's up, man?" Gave me $2. Do I know him? Damn, I'm sorry if I'm supposed to know you. I'm really bad with names. But thanks for the donation, brother. Mauro Rodriguez says, "I got a 17 GT with a Lund E85 tune. I got a great deal on this. He just said, I bet you, but it comes with a VMP Twin 69 throttle body for 18 plus cars. Can I still use this throttle body? I think the Gen 3 and the Gen 2 share similar electronics when it comes to the twin bore. But, you know who you asked that question to, Mauro? Think about it. Who would you ask that question to? Not the tuner, the manufacturer. The manufacturer has to answer that question. If you say, hey guys, I have a Gen 3 Twin 69, is it the same as a Gen 2? And if they say yes, we use it. Anthony Buck gave me $10 and put a sticker up. Didn't say a goddamn thing. My favorite type of question. Those car guys say, I have a 2015 Mustang Gen 3 TVS, makes about $950, and I currently have a stock MT82 with an RXC clutch, stock shifter, and a DSS drive shaft. My question is, should I get the Ben Calmer Stage 3 or T56 swap and buy a new clutch? The thing is, you don't just get a new clutch and buy a T56. You buy a T56, you buy a bell housing, you buy a shifter, you buy a cross member, you buy a drive shaft, and a new clutch. What do you buy with a Ben Calmer Stage 3? The Ben Calmer Stage 3. And you use all of your other shit. Your drive shaft, your shifter. I think he's making 23 spline Stage 3s right now. You'd have to hit him up. But that's an easy one. The Ben Calmer Stage 3 is the one to get because you'll save money and you'll probably have about the same torque rating for it. I think you'll be fine. I mean, some guy just went 8s, shifting a Stage 3. So I think you'll be good. MCJO13 says, how much should I pay for 2020 base model A10 Mustang GT? Dealer's trying to get me for 35 plus. Yeah, that's about right. That's about right. Can't swing it? Get a Gen 2. Can't swing that? Get a Gen 1. Can't swing that? Get a Catfish Camaro and put a fucking LQ4 in it or some shit. You pay to play here. You pay to play. Now, depending on your location, Mustangs are cheaper. Are you willing to drive to Florida to get a Mustang? Are you willing to drive to Texas to get a Mustang? A hot weather state where those Mustangs are prevalent everywhere, all over the place. There are Mustangs here, Mustangs for Mustangs for Mustangs. So if you end up in a place that have a lot of Mustangs available, I'm sure the price will be better. So if you're willing to drive, bitch, come on, that's easy. Okay. Sam50 says, did you see a blower lid for the GT500? Okay. A billet blower lid. Okay. Come on. Stop it. If you want surface area, right? If you want surface area, you want width, right? If you want surface area, you want width. If you go up, you're just, yes, you're putting intercoolers on intercoolers or multiple bricks. But if you're stacking intercoolers, if it's taller, you're creating a longer path. I like width. I like the ZR1s where the lid is flat, wide because the air goes up, then down again. Up, so basically it's a dual path. Holy shit, what is happening right now? Holy shit. So it goes up and then down. So if you have a tall lid, Are you stacking the bricks or are you making the bricks wider? If you're stacking bricks, you're causing a restriction. But if it cools, it cools. Who gives a shit? Guys, what are you looking to do with that Mustang? A 265 pulley pump gas car just went 1020. On E85 and Dakota driving it, it's a 9-something car. Free-flowing exhaust, E85. And a 2.6 pulley stock blower, no port. Now you port it, you go to Kong, that's the guy who ports them blowers. If you go to anybody, Kong ports them blowers, everyone else copies his shit. Bet me on that shit. Bet me on that shit. Take that shit to the bank, cut this segment out, and talk shit on it because everyone copies Greg's ports. But that's the guy to get it ported. And if he says it's a good idea, that's the guy to listen to. That's it. I'm just a nobody on the fucking internet taking $200 donations from Oliver Bryan. Fuck do I know, right? Fuck me, right? David Jeffrey says, for free Shelby Dave question, which Shelby was it on Instagram post with Carol Shelby's signature? Apoyo, gasolina y ethanol, comida y café y pachanga. So that is a GT, Ford Mustang GT, that was sent to Shelby and got Shelby-ized. It got the Shelby wheels. It got the Shelby Alcoas, Shelby floor mats, Shelby. It's got the Shelby everything. It's got the Shelby center exhaust. It's got the Shelby bumper cover, the rear and the front. It's got a Kenny Bell blower. It's got everything Shelby. That is a GT350 stamped with the Shelby, seal of approval because it was built over there, local customer to us. So it wasn't a KR or anything. It was a 350 S197 built at Shelby. So if you want to say it's not a real Shelby, you Shelby fags are going to be like, that's not a real Shelby. Actually, that Shelby is more of a Shelby than most Shelbys because it was built at Shelby. Do you know what I'm saying, Shelby? Oh, man. Zachary Smith says, I'll have to catch up in the AM. I took the car to the dyno today, 2012 manual, free-flowing exhaust. Inch and 3/8 long tube headers. So he actually went down in size. Pretty badass shit. Inch and 3/8 long tube headers. Boss manifold, cold air is choking it, huh? Made 427, 373. Sound right? SAE smoothing 5. If you got inch and 3/8 headers, that's about right. Dude, that's probably what you're gonna make. You probably should be in the 430 something range. If I'm sure you meant inch and 7/8, because the 7 is right next to the 3. Mm-hmm. So I think should be in the 430s with those mods. I think manual free flowing exhaust, close to 430. I think. Jenny Thole says, Shelby's going to go to Paramount Speed tomorrow for bigger blower. Then Lund sauce being injected shortly thereafter. Looking forward to it. Jenny Tolles. Badass. I think they are one of our dealers. Hopefully they pump out some Lund tunes down in the Dallas area. That would be real cool. Very cool, very cool. Come on. Scooty says, Tesla Model S Plaid, 200 mile an hour top speed, 9.0 and a quarter, 0 to 60 in 2 seconds. 145 price tag. If you could swing it, would you get it? Scooty. Does a bear shit in the woods? Not a polar bear. Does Howdy Doody have a wooden dick? You damn a 9.0 street car, quarter mile, 0 to 16. That's like a bike. A fucking fast bike. A Plaid Tesla Model S? I got to look this up. Are they selling a Tesla Model S Plaid? And a lot of you guys that don't know why Plaid, it's because if you ever watch the movie Spaceballs, they go hyper or whatever, but they go so fast that they go plaid, everything looks plaid. And if you don't like Spaceballs, you can unsubscribe from my shit. Spaceballs is fucking awesome and it still holds up to this day, motherfucker. Matt 2011 GT, the guy who provided the SCTX4. Again, guys, if you just joined in, we're giving away an SCTX4, the dead rat. And we're going to basically Ford, so you can tune any Ford. You could either use the preloaded tunes in this bitch or get a custom tune by the tuner of your choice. You don't have to necessarily be tied to Lund. I'm sure that Lund Racing soon, or I'll buy it. I'll buy the package and give it to you guys. I'll buy an Engage and tune package and then say, hey, give it away to you guys because you guys have been so awesome. But today, X4, highest comment on this video by next week, gets an X4. But Matt 2011 GT, any experience with the Ford Racing 90mm throttle body? Yes. Touch and go with them. Some work, some don't. We have the tune. It's vetted. But just like most throttle bodies that are, aftermarket, some work, some don't. Oh, John Miller is the guy who went, eights with the MT82. First guy to go eights. I took the gum out of my mouth because I guess it's bothering a lot of you guys. The power of the Schwartz, exactly. Guys, Spaceballs. You gotta watch Spaceballs. Spaceballs, The Naked Gun. Spaceballs, The Naked Gun. All the Matrices, Predator. You know, those are movies that you gotta watch when they're on. You don't just stop watching them. Insane Mustang says Spaceballs is the best. Hey, congrats, Insane, on the runner-up position on SET. Streetcar Takeover, Oklahoma or whatever, Kansas City or one of them central states that don't have a beach. I'm good. You could keep that shit. No beach? Bye. Whoa, what do you mean? Get here, and you'll see what the fuck I'm talking about. Scooty, already got him. Matt 2011 GT. But Matt, yeah, the 90 works. We have a good tune, but sometimes they just act up, and we disclaim them. Lee Ray says, thanks for the advice a few weeks ago. You're welcome, and goddamn, thanks for the money, man. You don't have to do, again, guys. I love you and I love the money, but you don't have to spend all this crazy money. If you want to throw $2, I'm gonna pay the same amount of attention as I give someone that give me $100. But Oliver Bryan says, showing up late tonight. I'll go back and watch from the beginning later. Love the track rental video. The 2020 GT500 got down and dirty. Now, Shelby owners are gonna have to decide this. GT500, 2020 GT500 owners. I get it. You're on the internet. You're on Facebook. You're on all these places. And you're like, oh, 950. And you name names and this tuning company and that tuning company. And oh, 1100 horsepower. Oh, my tuner. And oh. Pump gas. Full weight. No mods but a pulley and free-flowing exhaust. When 1030s, 1020s? You can go to Kroger, Sunoco, Giant. You can go to any stupid ass gas station, 93, and have a 1030, 1020 car. Now, you probably don't think that's impressive. That's fine. I get it. You want to have the badass shit and then end up selling it because you can't swing it anymore. That's what Shelby guys do. They want that clout. A lot of people buy this car for clout. They go, I want to be the first of everything because they want to be YouTube popular, YouTube famous. They want to basically, you know how you make it on YouTube, guys? Not that I've made it. Look, there are guys that have more subscribers than me, double or triple the subscribers, but the watch time is something that they don't have. And that's how YouTube works. The amount of minutes you can keep someone seeing your shit depends on how much you get paid. So meanwhile, I have half of the subscribers as much other YouTubers. I guarantee I make double their money. I guarantee it because I keep them engaged. You got to have personality. If you're out there going, my car blew up, my car sucks dick, I put bananas in my tailpipes and I made banana bread pudding. I'm like, you're going to last 2 seconds or you'll be a millionaire. It's either one or the other. If you have actual knowledge and personality, you make okay money. But yeah, guys, Shelby guys buy the shit and then just like, they want to have clout. Once that clout is over, they move on to the next car. And they sell it for either a loss or they sell it at the right time where it's still popping so the next dumbass can get it and do his YouTube bullshit. I don't want a 2020 GT500 ever. I have access to many. I don't want to buy any to get my clout up. Making your channel centered around one badass vehicle is silly because the overhead is the vehicle. And you're going to be paying $100,000 for a vehicle for a channel that pays you back $1,000 a month? Come on, that's not worth it. Okay, any more info on what Calamar has in store for the MT82 D4? Forks. I think it's just, all that trans needs is forks. I told Ben Calamar, all that trans needs is forks. He's like, yeah, the gears, this and that, but that's when you're making 1,000 plus, and half of you motherfuckers are not even making 500 to the wheel. So I told him not to worry about making it super king dingling badass. You can't compete with the T56. You should just make it livable at 850, 800, make sure the forks are legit and bill it. See you later. No name says, I got a 16 base GT with a Roush cold air intake and a removable MAF insert. Otherwise stock. A weekend canyon runner and occasional street pool. Is it worth getting a tune? Yeah, it's worth getting a tune and take the insert out. Meaning when you order a tune, say insert out, get a tune. The tune will extend your rev limiter, extend your rev limiter, allows you to have more timing in the car, based on the octane and a better throttle feel, overall. And adjustability, meaning if you get headers, if you get anything in the future to make that Canyon Runner better, you're already tuned and you can just get revised for little things here and there like gear ratio, exhaust, cold air, intake manifold, whatever you want to upgrade to. Excuse me. 2011 GT says, keep firing, assholes. Sorry. See, I was chewing gum and I was doing fine. Now I'm fucked. Big Stewie says, was told I need to get a tire to get a better 60 foot. Please don't tell me you're on a stock tire, dude. Please don't tell me you're on a stock-ass tire and you're asking me if you should get a tire. Let's see. Your preference on tire and what size? A QuickTime Pro or a Mickey Thompson? Mickey Thompson what? Mickey Thompson what? They got the comp shit. They got the R. They got the drag. They got the SS. You gotta be. Oh, I'm going to tell you what to get. You got an 11 2.3 Roush MT82 with 373s. So it's manual. So you're going to need to get either a QuickTime Pro with a skinny front, meaning if you run a 17-inch wide front or an 18 or 19-inch wide front and you run a bias ply rear, you're going to crash into the wall and look like a fucking dumbass. So you got to get a skinny if you're going to run a bias ply in the rear. If not, get an ET Street SS and no clutch dumping on any radial with a stock style clutch. You need to learn to slip the clutch. Look back on my videos and type in how to slip the clutch, and that will help, at least help a little bit, understand what I'm saying. My videos are full of that shit. The black car, anytime you see the black car on video, I'm either shifting it or racing it. I'm doing something stupid to the car. So go back on my channel, look up how to slip the clutch, look at what tires I'm using. When I upgraded to a Mickey Thompson ET drag, what it did, how drastically it changed the car. That will answer your question, brother. My channel is here for you. Go back and look. I cannot just spoon feed you all the information. I get it. You paid, but do the research too. But I would do a drag radial, slip the clutch, or a QuickTime Pro or Mickey Thompson drag with a skinny front and dump the clutch. Shamrock Movie says, Victor putting Killeen on the map. CTX gang. Don't know what the fuck he's saying. Oliver Bryan says, C8 twin turbo seems to be slipping DCT with small power. Why do you think the GT500 seems to be much stronger? I don't know. I don't know if Tremec made smaller clutch packs for those cars versus the DCT on the GT500. GT500 does technically slip the clutch out of the hole, but grabs well all the way down the track, and it doesn't seem to be an issue. I don't know why the C8 is shit like that. I don't know how the logic works. I don't know how much pressure is needed to keep those clutches, engaged properly. I have no idea how the DCT is set up. The Tremec set up the DCT on the C8 versus GT500. It could be a smaller disc, less discs. Who knows? I don't know. Omar Medina says, hey, bitcha, I thought the XCal 4 was a giveaway for last week's video. Senior and Brandon, sorry if I misunderstood. Last week's video? No, last week's video was the MFP deal. I didn't see any. Did I see? Did I fuck up on that? Let me see if I fucked up on that. But I don't know. I didn't have anything on hand. I mentioned it last week about the MFP crank support and that video, and then we announced it last week who won. Yeah, I don't think I did a giveaway last week, but we'll see. I'll go back and check again, but I don't think so. I don't think I had it in hand yet. I think Matt 2011 GT mentioned it, but I don't think I mentioned at all a giveaway on last week's show because we came from the track rental, right? I don't think I mentioned any giveaways because I didn't have anything on hand. Oh my God, fucking Ice Huck. Ice Huck. His last name is Balls. Let me see. He said missed me. Jesus Christ. He says, do y'all Lund guys have beef with some other tuning companies, guys? If so, I'd pay to watch a Royal Rumble between the two of you. It's not a competition. Not a competition. I'm speaking for me. It's not a competition. So there's no reason to pay. But there's no beef. The beef is like, there's no beef. The beef is with the customers. Customers beef. Like when the Yankees play baseball, they might beef a little bit with the Red Sox, but it's mostly the fans. So those are the guys that really rattle the saber. Do you know what I am saying? Turbo Diesel Dan said nothing. My favorite type of question to give me $5. Thank you very much. No name. Already got him. Big Stewie got that. Shamrock. Oliver Bryan. Omar. Brandon Montoya says, I have a 2020 Mustang GT with a Roush 2650. Thoughts? You bought the worst blower on the market. Love you, Brandon. You bought the worst blower on the market. And I'll say that with confidence. Worst IAT, worst inlet design. Yeah, it's a 2650, but it's like choking a 2650. They purposely made the tiniest inlet on the planet, the most inefficient intercooler on the planet. It's a piece of junk. I love you. It's a piece of junk. If you can sell it, get it out of your life and get a Odin, a Whipple, a Paxton, a Vortec, or even a Pro Charger, you'd be way better off. Trust me, Brandon. There is no reason to try to put lipstick on that pig because it's going to be a pig forever. Love you. New Edge Coyote says, channel support and lunch for Junior. Here we go. If you're going to give anyone money, don't give me money to give them money. Give them money. Because every time I give them money, they, oh, Alex, here's $20. Give it to homeboy. I only get about 2/3 of that. So the rest has to come out of my pocket. He says, I got a quick tune on my Coyote Swap 02. Also, question, I have a chance to grab a set of Comp Cam Stage 3s for $600 worth grabbing. Plan on going Whipple in a few years. Absolutely, New Edge Coyote. Comp Cam Stage 3s are king daddy. Guys, take that shit to the bank. Comp Cam NA Stage 3s are king daddy cams, Gen 1 and Gen 2. Gen 3, they have Comp Cam Stage 2s, and those are king daddy. Diego Jeffrey says, your thoughts on having a fast F-150 Tacuache just to drive fast and be able to gap fools in Mexico occasionally and not race it? Apoyo conmigo. That's stupid. It's stupid. You're doing something halfway. A truck is meant to be a truck. Kenny G says, I missed my question. Must fuck me, right? A truck is a truck. So why are you going to race a truck? It's not going to be as quick as a Mustang mod for mod. So you're going to be, Lord of the Flies. What are you doing? Oh, truck. Oh, I got a fast truck. I got a fast Honda. I got a there's like a fast black. Instead of saying I have a fast car, I have a fast vehicle, my shit's fast, you're going to be fast truck guy. You can make trucks fast, right? But it requires more. So I'm just not interested in that. Kenny G said I missed his question, so now I got to scroll up, fuck everyone else. Instead of him just asking the question again, I got to fuck everyone else. Second is my extra neutral now, meaning he blew up his trans. I see a stock TR6060 for sale, and it's sale. I don't know if you're trying to be funny, but I'm a grammar Nazi. But I had initial plans to get a Stage 2 Ben Calamer MTD2. Going to upgrade the clutch and drive shaft anyway. Which would you do? Ben Calamer, Stage 2. Easy. Again, you save on the drive shaft, the clutch, the cross member, and the shifter. Jesus Christ, how many times do I have to say it before people get it? The Ben Calamer Stage 3 is a better value and just as strong as a T56. And I like the gear ratios better. Okay. Shamrock Movie says Victor's the owner of the 80 car and is from Killeen, Texas. Gotcha. Thank you, Shamrock Movies. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Kenny G says you missed my question. I already got your question. Go fuck yourself. Tango says I saw Brett Barber selling ported 18 plus stock throttle bodies and claiming gains when paired with a porting 18 manifold. Thoughts? I will say this as Alex Flores. Wait, hold on. The hat is off. He's wrong. He's wrong. Why? Is the blade bigger? Is the blade bigger? If you could only get air through the same size blade, is the blade bigger? Oh, but the air coming, is the blade bigger? This is what happened not too long ago. Guy says stock tune. Here's a tune, here's a bass tune. Here you go. See you later. Bye. Comes back, I got my ported throttle body, my ported intake. Now it idles at 1100 RPMs. I'm like, I'm not going to fuck with the tune. Why am I going to fuck with the tune? You mean it was disassembled improperly? You mean it was hogged out bigger than Ford spec'd out the allowable air leakage at idle? Bye. Go to Ford and buy a stock throttle body, put it on that bitch. I have not seen measurable, again, guys, measurable. Pull to pull, a dyno can vary 5 horsepower. So if you bolt on a ported throttle body and it makes 5, how do you know it really made measurable gains? So if you're pairing it with an 18 ported manifold, what's the test? The test is ported manifold, stock throttle body, watt 3 times. Ported manifold, modded throttle body, watt 3 times. Has that test been done? And then you have to ask yourself, is it worth it? Because guys are idling at 1100 after they get ported shit. Leave it the fuck alone. Leave it the fuck alone. If you're going to port anything, it's the manifold. Leave the throttle body alone. Now I can put my Lund Racing hat back on. Thank you. So if he's got beef, he can talk to me. Not these guys. He's got beef, he can talk to me. Because unless you did the testing and you tuned it and you put it on the dyno and you proved it, you cannot say it made gains. And if the blade is the same fucking size, how are you getting air? How are you getting air in there? More air in there. That's the same size blade. Oh no, I hogged it out. Oh, that's why it's idling at 1100 RPMs? Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here. I don't care if I get fucking called out on that shit because it's bullshit. And even Senior addressed it last week. He goes, is the blade bigger? Is the blade bigger? Come on. Just got a Flex E85R tune. Is it okay to leave the Flex tune on at all times and not using E85 all the time? And what's the lowest required ethanol to use the E85R tune? Guys, I've answered this question a million times here, and please, listen. You can leave the Flex tune on all the fucking time. All the time. 91, 93, a mix of E85, drive it. Just drive the fucking thing. And if it eventually learns to 80 or so percent, shove the E85R tune in it if you're going to go racing someone. And once you're done racing someone, shove the Flex tune back in it and drive it. There you go. The Wrangle 87 says, I'm about to buy a new F-250 and I can't decide between the 6.2 or risk the new 7.3. I'm only pulling a boat so a diesel isn't needed. Either engine would be worth tuning. Thank you, sir. Yeah, you could tune. Look, that's where it belongs. That's where the Godzilla belongs, in a 7.3. And it's better than the 6.2. Way better. More torque. Just better than the 6.2, period. That's what it's meant to do. Pull shit. So yeah, go for it. Get a 7.3. Get a tune on it. And it's going to wake it up a little bit. You're going to have a good time. And it'll be a great little truck pulling the boat to the dock or the launch and back as it's meant to do. Now, if you want to make it a race engine, just throw about $28,000 into it and it's going to be badass. In a truck. The Wrangle 87. Thanks for the donation, by the way. Jared Stallworth says, Tesla just announced an 1,100 horsepower Model S 520 range, 139 opinion. Jared Stallworth, that was mentioned earlier, called the Plaid Edition. Guys, fuck anything else. If Tesla's at the forefront of electric car shit, they know that performance sells. And if they're selling a 500-mile range, 1,100 horsepower Tesla, street racers, yeah, you regular ass street racers, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem if that thing hooks out from a dig. It's going to be like a 9-second car anywhere, in asphalt and at the track. People are going to be so fucking pissed once these big fucking boats are out there gapping the shit out of fools. And it can still go. And now there goes all that bullshit about, what if I want to drive it to California? Drive to California. 520 miles, stop at a supercharger station, which I'm sure they have on the map. 40 minutes later, it's charged up. Drive another 400 miles, charge it up again. No different than gas. Guys, once the technology catches up, it's going to be tough to ignore the benefits of an electric vehicle. Next brother says, love my Whipple 810 tuned by Lund. My dad just bought a Red Eye. Holy hell, the comfort and stock power is great to daily. Have you ever drove one? Look, Nick Struther, some guy who basically verifies what I've been saying all along. A Red Eye can get it. And supposedly someone with a stock tune, stock Red Eye, went 10-1 recently. I got to find that video and talk about it. If anyone knows or can send me a link to the video of the Red Eye running 10-1, meaning some guy that knows what the fuck he's doing got a tire on it, but left the tune stock and pump gassed it and supposedly went 10-1. I got to see that shit. Excuse me. Okay, back to the peasant chat. Let's go. I have a 12 GT Zero, creator says, and I'm looking into manifolds at price for performance. I know CJ is king at a price for performance, but the ported Boss or 18 manifold is better on 93. You know, the ported 18 and the ported Boss are going to be good for your price range. Stock throttle body, use the same cold air. Ported 18 or ported Boss is going to yield you similar results. It's how about you want it to look under the hood. That's really the difference between those two manifolds. I don't think one's much better than the other when both are ported. Jeremiah Bright says, no question. Thanks for all the info and chill chat. Awesome, brother. I appreciate you. Brian Padine Jr. says, yeah, but we know Ford has an electric Mustang coming, and I'm not talking about the Mach-E, not a Mustang. It's not a Mustang, but it is a Mustang because Ford said it's a Mustang because it's Ford's brand. It's a Mustang. Get it through your fucking head. The Mach-E is a Mustang. Why? Because the guy that makes a Mustang, Ford, the people that make the Mustang, say it's a fucking Mustang. Thoughts on Joe Rogan, Trump, Biden podcast? Well, Joe Rogan mentioned that Biden has dementia. And he cannot get himself to vote for a guy that has dementia. Joe Rogan right now is getting shitted on because he's talking about, people are saying he's transphobic. So the whole Spotify thing is up in question. So that'll be interesting how that goes along. But I think it's a good idea because I think Trump is able to say more on a podcast like that. He can say, fuck, shit, motherfucker, and come, and you're all good. Whereas, you know, someone like a Biden, I don't think he'd take that because obviously the dude's lost. His shit's gone. He is fucking, you've had uncles and aunts that are just gone out to lunch. You put them in the corner with pudding and hope they go away peacefully. This is where Biden's at. And that motherfucker's running for president? Holy shit. And if you're a car guy, if you're a car guy at all, there's only one guy to vote for. If you're a car guy, I don't care if you're Tacuache Junior Velasquez, if you're a car guy, only one party lets you be a car guy. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck about politics, but there's only one party that lets you be a car guy. Unless you're willing to buy a Tesla, there's only one fucking party. Matt760 says, come back when you can. 80 stock original motor. See ya. Exactly. Matt760 talking all that shit, getting all the tuners mad in California, talking shit about his kids and shit. Crazy shit. Zachary Smith said, oops, I meant into 7/8. Good catch. I saw. I just like to make fun of it because I know what you meant, brother. But yeah, Jake Birch, that's what I think about the Joe Rogan. I think they should do it, but they're not going to do it because Trump is going to steamroll. Trump is one of the most, one of the biggest shit talkers ever. I'm old, 42 years old. I remember the Howard Stern show in the 90s. AJ Benza versus Donald Trump it was radio gold. AJ Benza was a E Hollywood murder stories or something guy, some Italian fella. And he, hey, yo, what's going on there? Yo, whoa. He sounded like Andrew Dice Clay, even though Andrew Dice Clay was Jewish. And supposedly, Trump fucked his girlfriend back in the day. Trump was laying pipe back in the day. He was like, you can get some bitch, you can get some bitch, you can get some bitch. He was laying pipe. And he supposedly stole AJ Benz's girl because she saw a billionaire come in the room and she was like, fuck this guy. This guy does Hollywood stories. This guy builds buildings and golf courses. So he started talking. So they were both on the Howard Stern show, Trump on the phone, AJ Benza in studio, and Trump was like, you know what? I did steal her, and and she was excellent in bed, and he was talking all that shit. And you know what AJ Benza said? He got so bent. He goes, I'm gonna kill you. Next time I see you, Donald, you're dead. I'm gonna literally kill you. And it was the best thing because Donald didn't give a fuck. He was just like, yeah, basically he said, I fucked your bitch and what? Because I got money and I'm better than you. And I was like, damn. And that dude became president. No quema cut. Texas Stangs gave me $2 and I said, no quema cut. That opening on the Roush is like a fat guy running the quarter, sucking through a straw. It is Sean O'Day. That Roush is junk ass shit. Lex Luthor says, motherfucker's going to vote for Biden. Shaking my head. Look, not into politics. I'm a car guy. There's only one party that allows you to be a car guy. There's only one party that allows you to be a car guy. So if you're a car guy on some dumb shit, on some racist, oh, he racist. Get the fuck out of here. Jason Freiberg says that was a great Stern show. Jason Freiberg, I think, is about my age and probably from the same neck of the woods, Northeast, because Stern was life back in the day. Now he's just, he's great, but he's just not what I liked back in the day. He changed a little bit, and that's all good. I like those old shows back at K-Rock. I think it was at K-Rock. Edwin Martinez says, Chance Ponder, what's the most you've gotten from the 62 66s? Edwin is asking everybody how much you've gotten out of a certain turbo setup and injector. Why? He's doing his research. Edwin Martinez, before he changes his setup, he does the research. I love people like that. Mr. King says, Alejandro, should I buy a boosted Gen 1 car, NA Gen 2 car, or swing for it in Gen 3 A10? Gen 3 A10. Depends on what you want to do, really, Mr. King. If you want to do NA stick shift stuff, Gen 1. If you want to do vetted, ton of combos, run 9s with ease, 8s particularly, it's relatively easy, you get the Gen 2. Gen 3 is latest and greatest, and the aftermarket is catching up. And that will be King Daddy in about a year or two. You're going to start looking back at Gen 2s like that shit's peasant shit. Because the Gen 3s are really getting after it. That's why I bought a manual one. Because I was like, yeah, I see 12-to-1 compression. You don't need much to, you can stock injectors run E85. You can put CJ and all that bullshit and never upgrade the injectors. 1050Xs is enough for about 1,000 or plus, almost 1,100 wheel. That's pretty badass stuff. Hotshot VQ35 says, Stern is a libtard fuck now. The K-Rock show in the 90s were tits. Exactly. He became a hardcore libtard inside baseball, in the Hollywood bullshit, where when he was outside of it and made fun of everybody, I thought he was great. Similar to me. I can't get into it too much because then I'll look like just an insider fuckface. I like to be on the periphery and still be able to talk shit. I don't want to be handcuffed so much that I can't say what I want to say. Alexis Z says channel support from the 956. Is that from the RGV? The Rio Grande Valley? No Quemaka? Alexis Z. Chris Mullen says, I got a 2013 GT low boost in the future. Other than Mantic, you recommend a good clutch? Thanks. Yeah, man, look, the RXT and the RST are great. I'm not going to ever knock those. If you're going to stay NA or low boost, the RST, like SNEC, those are better because it provides a bit of a fuse between the engine and the trans. The RXT is going to transfer all of it, the torque, the snap, the pop, and the crackle, and you're going to potentially break shit easier with the RXT than the RST. So Mantic 1, in my opinion, then you go RST, RXT. There you go. Edward Martinez says, yeah, the RGV, exactly. 956, no quema, cuz, a la verga, me la pelan. Eric Shraven. I got a 13 6R80, 315 gears, 18 manifold, PMAS, long tubes, free flowing exhaust, E85 and a tire. I don't want to gut the car. Will this setup get me to the 11s? Ooh, it's going to be close. You need a converter, bro. Eric, you need a converter. I mean, it's going to be close. 315 gears. If you had 355s, you'll get there easier. If you had 373s, you'll get there easier. But if you had 373s, you'll get there easier with stock converter. If you had a 3C or a 2C or a 4C, yes, that's an 11-second combo for sure. Matthew Goodall says, channel support, bitcho. That red tune officially has my Gen 2 in the 11s. Appreciate all the advice. 4C on order, just like you. Let the battle begin. Matthew Goodall, congratulations. Isn't it a nice feeling to finally see that 11 pop up? You go, whew, thank God. Now we got to get you deeper into the 11th. Once my 4C and the ultimate headers that are right back there go in through the red car, I'm not only going to reduce weight, open up the exhaust, see how much power I make over what I got now, and we'll see if we can get that sucker deep 11s the way it sits. A la verga, Defcon says. Sean Harmon, looking for an air-to-water Coyote intake, intercooler, manifold. Any suggestions? Air-to-water Coyote intake, intercooler, manifold. Not like a plasma, man. You mean like an integrated setup? I love you. Since I'm a blower guy, I could not even dare to try to suggest something, Sean. Hopefully someone in the chat knows anyone that makes a air-to-water / intake similar to the Minion. He's going to miss Florida 2K, but I hear Manuel Gomez is coming down with a blue turbo Gen 2, and he ain't doing no 45 rolls. He's doing 60 rolls. According to him, he's doing street shit. So that'll be interesting to see if Florida 2K becomes an official thing because the Houston guys come over and represent their spot. 727 Steve D, hopefully your back's feeling better. He says, channel support, got the LS guys trolling. Haters are the best fans, keep up the good work. Dude, LS guys cannot talk any shit on the 8.0 car. They're going to say it's a built motor. Why would we lie? Like, Lund Racing has no skin in the game by lying. You know, saying you have a refined tune, but it's really 30 degrees. We don't have no skin in the game by lying to people. We got to be honest, because then we got to be able to back it up. If Manuel Gomez basically makes that combination repeatable, meaning another customer drops his balls and says, here's money, get me that exact same setup. And if Manuel builds it, goes to the track, similar conditions, and it runs the same fucking number, people got to shut the fuck up, because that's the combo. Now, in my opinion, if you want to make that combo stronger, just a built short block. That's it. Nothing. Same shit. Built short block with sleeves, and you could turn up the boost a little more, or at least feel a little better in your head that it's built, so it might last a little longer than stock. I believe David Van Vorst is going to be at FL2K. Well, yeah, if he's going to do street shit, that'll be cool. Look, guys, I am more and more shying away from the track stuff. I know it's illegal. I know it's dangerous. I know you can die. But guess what sells? Street shit. If you're out there gapping fools, fucking everybody up from a roll, from a dig, and you're killing dudes, and you're doing it on the street, yes, it's illegal. I get it. That sells. The track stuff, people are going to say, well, it's a track car. On the street, you can get the gap. But at the track, yeah, you're king dingling because there's glue on the bitch. So I'm shying away from the track stuff. Now, the Fairmont is a track car. The GT500, if I do buy it, that's a track car. It has its place. Texas 2K, FL2K at the track, World Cup, Mod Nats. 4 events a year, that is legit as fuck. But then the everyday stuff where you can just get in it and find a race tonight, right now, that sells. Because I can just do that without having to go through tech, go through all that bullshit. So if David Van Voorst is going to go out there and fuck around on the street, Manuel Gomez is going to come to Florida 2K and fuck around on the street, I'm hoping Cletus and them guys get out there and fuck around on the street. I get it. You got a brand to protect and all that shit. But if you want to reach the thug-ass motherfuckers, them dirty, raunchy-ass dudes, you do the street shit. You do the street shit. That's how 1320 got to where they were, doing street shit. I understand Cletus has to protect the brand and do it legal, but I'm telling you, man, if he starts doing street shit, do you know how many people will start coming to Florida every October to run street shit in the Bradenton area? It'll be impressive. And then I don't have to go all the way to fucking Texas 2K to fuck around. That'll be great. Enjoying the show, Nick Sparks says, from SK Performance. Ask SK Performance, Jeff, about the beaches in Oklahoma. Exactly. Every single time people are like, oh, you know, okay. I get made fun of a lot because I am in West Palm Beach and I have an apartment. My rent is like 2 of your mortgages. No offense. Why? Because I can drive down 15 minutes east and have some of the most badass, bluest beaches on the fucking planet. It is beautiful. I live in paradise. I literally live in paradise. Miami's an hour away. Orlando's an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Bradenton's 3 hours away. Everything is legit. So if you're like, oh, Alex, you only got an apartment. I'm like, you're in Kansas City. The fuck is in Kansas City? The fuck is in Oklahoma? The fuck is it? Come on. I'm a beach guy. I'm a, sun guy. You got a house in Pasadena. That ain't impressing me. Love you. It's not. You got 8 acres in Pasadena. Congratulations. No, thank you. Shit. Your 8 acres in Pasadena is a 1-bedroom here. Dean Simmons says, hey, Alex, are centrifugals too boring for the street use in a manual? Honestly, I'm not going to say they're boring yet. On pump gas and 10 PSI, I'm now bored. I'm going to throw E85 in it and see what it does and then eventually pull it down with a fuel system like a 3.3 and see how boring it is then. I think a 3.3 pulley centrifugal E85 Gen 3 manual is a lot of fun. But again, you're not going to be the fastest dude out there. Some guy with a twin turbo on 3 junk S197 will gap the shit out of you. That's where the Fairmount comes out. But honestly, it is kind of boring. I did enjoy a TVS a lot more than I do a centrifugal. It is not lazy down low by any means. But man, that TVS just whips up real nice. It's a good time. It's a good fucking time, brother. Grocery Getter says 2019 10R80 currently installing as we speak on 3 top mount twin setup. Is it safe running 91 since I'm here in Arizona with booster and pump and get about 700 wheel? What issues would I have, if any? So if you're going to run 91 and octane booster, you're going to get the spark plugs looking brown pretty soon. I wouldn't try to get 91 octane, 700 horsepower. I just wouldn't try to do that. If you can get octane booster in there and run the car limited, but if you might be able to get 700. If it is your daily, you can expect those spark plugs to look pretty fucking brown after about 5,000 miles of using octane booster in 91. So that's probably the only thing you're going to come across. If you're running Octanium, Boostane, or Torco with 91, your spark plugs are going to look kind of brown in a short period of time. Are they fouling out or running badly? No, but I would rather have a nice clean plug in there. You know what I am saying? Jed S says, I'm tuned by blankety blank Billy blank. I got 850 wheel horsepower, 10R80, GPZ clutches, 5,000 miles, 12 passes later. The steels are cooked. Any reasons how I caused it? Switch to Lund, save my trans. I'm not going to say it saves your trans, but Manuel Gomez pulled that transmission apart and the clutches were mint. We definitely have the trans tuning on lock. You got to understand, guys, a lot of people chase the Facebook records. They see this guy ran this number, so I should go to him. And then what fits you is more of a daily driver, occasional drag street stuff. Whereas what you saw on Facebook was a max effort. We don't give a shit about the life of the trans. We don't give a shit about the life of the motor. It is just clout, what you see on Facebook. Now, truth being told, I have not seen premature clutches being worn on a 10R80 with a Lund tune yet. If it was put together well by people like Power by the Hour, Finish Line Performance over in Ohio, Manuel Gomez, all those guys. If it was put together well, there is no premature wear on those Jet S. So if you want to come over to the dark side, so to speak, we'll be happy to have you. And I don't think you're going to have premature wear on your shit if it's put together properly. I'm not saying the tune caused it. I'm just saying I have not seen it with a Lund tune. David Jaffrey says, if you ever get a retired cop, assuming you like cop cars, whichever one would you get? And would you know the stuff going down? Okay. And you know the stuff is going down when Alex takes off the hat. This is why I take off the hat, right? I love Lund Racing. They're my people. I work for them, and I'm loyal as fuck, and they're my friends. They're actually my friends, okay? They're not just coworkers, they're my friends. So if I'm going to say some controversial shit because one company might... This is what happens. When I say something and I got a hat on, they hit on my boss. And my boss goes, go fuck yourself. So I take the hat off, so in case they do, cut the clip and send it to them and say, yo, he said that. All right, well, you're not going to go after Power by the Hour because it's just a shirt. But you're probably going to try to go after me with my boss because that's what you fuck asses do. You come after my boss. That used to be a thing back in the day. That shit's over. That's done. That's not working anymore. Because one, I say shit that is true and it is co-signed by the boss man. And second, I want to say shit that would put the company that I work for in trouble, right? I wouldn't pop off on some dumb shit without some knowledge behind it. So I take the hat off just to little layer of protection. I know Lund Racing doesn't need protecting. I know there's big boys over there that got my back. But, you know, trying to be a good boy. Eric Shraven. Anyway, the cop car. It would be this guy right here. Check it out. What is the... I had one, and it was a great car. It was a fucking mint machine. I think it was a 9C1 Caprice. 9C1, I think that's what it's called. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, for sure. These cop cars, for whatever reason, they get my dick a little hard. I really like these cop cars. It's an LT1. I had one. Ooh, that looks like shit. I had one just like this. I mean, obviously it looks like a truck, but you lower that bitch. I like Impala SS's. I love this. Oh my God, that was the car. That was the car I had. That bitch would never get stuck in the snow. It looked exactly like this. Blue, low, tinted with the light. That car got so much proper attention. Man, I hated this. They did sell like a lower control arm extension deal to center this guy here. This, in my opinion, is a way better cop car. Now, the LT1 is not that great. And the P71 Crown Vic is a great platform. But it does not get my dick hard. For whatever reason, this does it for me because it's literally an Impala SS. And I love it. I love those cars. So if I was going to get a cop car, that's the car I'd get. You know what I'm saying? Slamming together 2 Terminators tonight at the shop. We need some motivation. Can you hit us with you know what I got to do? I got to do flip, pling, crink, and then just record it. I gotta record a flip, pling, crink. I gotta do it right. I might do it after the show. The voice is good now, and I probably blew up your speakers at your house. So yeah, fuck you for watching me on your television. But yeah, SK Performance Jeff, anytime, brother. If you could only do one, would you do 373s or a converter? It's a street car that'll hit the track a few times a year. Converter. Because then you can actually launch in different RPMs, right? With the stock converter, you're limited to like 2,000. That's it. With like a 4C, you can go 2,000, 2,500, up to about 3,200 or something before the tires start moving around. So I do a converter before I do 373s, sir. You're slamming Cobras together. I mean, what do you work at, Jurassic Park? Fuck, man. I can't believe people are still working on those things. I guess, look. Cobras, to me, I missed the boat on Cobras. I went from Fox Body right to Coyote. That whole generation in between, I didn't say it's bad. I just said I was working and fucking with houses and stuff. And then when I came back to be able to afford and get back into the community, there was a Coyote. And I'm like, yeah, I'll fuck with the Coyote. But man, people still fuck with those Terminators. Will Firth said, okay. James Russell says, I recently won a Whipple for my 18 A10. Good for you, James Russell. Wait a minute. Did you win it from the you lucky motherfucker thing? That's cool. I put money in for that. I think it's $100 or $200. Kit includes a 10 with 20% Vortec PMP voltage booster. What fuel system do you recommend? Only one fuel system I recommend on the planet is a 4 Innovations fuel system, and if you can swing it, a level 2. That's all you need, in my opinion. Will first says, I'm swapping my 2200 SL to a JTB this weekend. And I'm also adding a 3375 grip tech. You better have E85. Any experience on a JTB and what pulley size is optimal? Also, horsepower, PSI, Gen 3, 10R80, E85. 3.3 pulley, JTB, 800 wheel. 800 something wheel. Dude, a 3.6 made 720 on pump gas in my car. So you have a 10R80 E85 3.3 pull. It's going to be a fucking 800 horsepower car. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. 22 degrees or so, 21, 22. It's going to fucking make 800 wheel. If we're tuning it, will. So you got old pump gears and a crank sprocket? Do you have one of those? Probably a good idea because you're going to be spinning the shit out of that blower, stressing the crank out a little more, RPMing it. So we want to make sure that the old pump gears are happy eventually. So that's something to consider in the near future. Sir. Jared Stallworth says, do you think the aftermarket is going to shrink from all this fast, stockish stuff? Yes. Back in the day, Power by the Hour had a business where you brought your Cobra, you brought your 96 Cobra to them, you brought something. Them bitches were slow as fuck, even for their day, because Fox bodies were still kicking their ass with a nitrous setup and 410s, and a lightweight Fox was killing the newer cars. So guys would bring it to like Power by the Hour or whatever, and he'd make a twin turbo kit, and then custom fab stuff started becoming a thing, meth, trans build, basically it started becoming, you could make money making these cars fast. Now, they're optimal out of the factory. With a tune, you send it to someone, or Whipple, or Gomez's turbo kit, Aldo kit, On 3 kit, Paxton, Odin, you name it. You're just in the driveway. You're in the driveway going, bolted this on, beep, boop, boop, boop. Got the dead rat on deck or an N-Gauge. I prefer you have an N-Gauge, honestly, but I'm giving this guy away today. And you call, and you're like, hey, I want a tune. And you didn't put it together like a fucking caveman, and the bitch starts, and you take it to the track, and it runs 9s. The fuck? And then you could take it to a shop like Manuel's shop. Power by the Hour doesn't work on those cars anymore because they're like, I'd rather sell parts. That's where the money is at. But Manuel seems to make his own parts. He make his own turbo kit. He upgrades the transmissions. He's up on the new stuff. And he works on many different cars. He works on Corvettes, this and this and that. So I think shops eventually are going to have to do a couple of things. Make badass custom parts because the stuff is optimal from the factory. So it's really tough to get an NA car to go faster unless you're removing parts from it to make it lighter. So yeah, I think the aftermarket will slowly either have to adjust or be like Manuel, where you make parts to go faster. Whereas before, you can go to a shop and you had to go to a shop to do anything to the car. You'd have to go to a shop to put a tune in a car. You'd have to go to a shop to put headers in a car. Now you could do that shit in the driveway, and it's already optimal from the factory. And it's E85 compatible. You're just a tune, headers, cold air, and weight reduction away from 10s NA. What the fuck would have thought that 10 years ago? Nobody. Ian Martha, what's up, brother? How's Publix doing? It says, thanks for the great content as always. Yeah, bitch, a smoker. Thanks, Ian. Frank says 550 says, SK's bumping Cobras instead of beating the vets off in the weeds. Beating the vets off in the weeds.
We were blowing the Corvettes off in the weeds.
He says it with great enthusiasm. Listen.
Great enthusiasm. We were blowing the Corvettes off in the weeds.
With great enthusiasm, the weeds.
Great enthusiasm. We were blowing the Corvettes off in the weeds.
And with great enthusiasm.
Great enthusiasm. We were blowing the Corvettes off in the weeds.
Blowing Corvettes off in the weeds with great enthusiasm. Oh, man. It's just a project. It says, I sold my WS6 Plus Boost X550. What should I buy now? It's just a project. Said, I sold my WS6 and Boost S550. What should I buy now? So you got a boosted S550 and a WS6? And you want to know what to buy now? Well, I wouldn't buy an S550, meaning any Mustang. If you're a Chevy guy, you know what I would get if I were you? If you can swing it, a ZR1, a C8 ZR1. Why not? A Z8 ZR1 is bolt-ons away from 8s. That's right. Z8 ZR1s with a port, E85, bolting shit on. E85, fuel system, moon boost, and a tune from 8s. How do I know that? Because Rami Zaidan made it happen down in Puerto Rico. A bolt-on 890 ZR1 auto. Blew my mind. And they're fucking fast. They're not quick. They're fucking fast. The C7 ZR1s. So that's what I would do if you want to ball out, have your your dick hanging way out, or you do a little I don't know what kind of guy you are. You have a WS6, you're a little gay. And the so I don't know what kind of guy you are. I would do a Fox body, not a Mustang. If you're gonna get a Mustang, get a 4i, 86 4i Mustang. Coyote swap it, T56 or MT82 if you can fit it in there. Gen 3 or Gen 3 swap a Fox body. There's a guy that we know that has a Gen 3 NA swap Fox body, and it's like a 1070, 1080 car on the street with a draggy. It's hard to beat that. L Boss 302 says, "What's up, cuz? I got a Gen 5 Whipple Roadrunner. What's the smallest pulley allowed for 91, and what pulley will give me 850 to 800 850 wheel on the 85 for 91?" That's what you talk to Whipple with that shit. Don't make more than 10 psi. So whatever pulley you can put on there to make 10 psi, don't go over that for 91 octane. What pulley will make 800? I think anything under than a 325, depending if it's a Gen 3 or Gen 5 Whipple. Oh Jesus! So a 325 or 3125 will definitely get you into the 800s, like well into the 800s. I even think a 3.5 with the 85 and like high timing, but I'm not 100% because the Gen 5 on a Gen 1 is still Gen 5 Whipple on a Gen 1 Mustang or Roadrunner is still new to me. Like it doesn't make sense in my head. But I think anything over 12 to 13 psi should make 800 on the 85 with a Roadrunner. Matt 107 says, "Alex, I have a Manuel Gen 2, Whipple Gen 2 with Whipple 132 throttle body, 1050Xs, and free-flowing exhaust Lund tune. I only drive the car on the weekends. I don't want to do a fuel system. Buy a couple of barrels of E85. What pulley do you recommend? I want over 800 wheel." The same question for LBoss 302, Matt 107. 13 to 14 psi, that bitch will make 800. If it's a Gen 5, no, it's a Whipple Gen 2. Oh, Whipple Gen 2? Oh, my God. You need like a 3.1 throttle. You need like a 3.1. The Gen 2 really is super inefficient. The Gen 2 Whipple. The Gen 3 is way better, so you're a head unit away from having a way different setup. But the Gen 5 is super king daddy when it comes to Whipples. You're going to need a real small pulley to make any power on that motherfucker. Like a low 3-inch pulley, like 3.125 or something on the 85 with 10, on the 85, you're going to need like 14, 15, maybe 16 PSI out of that guy to be able to make what a Gen 5 does with a couple sizes bigger. So yeah, you're going to need, you need all the help you can get with that Whipple Gen 2, brother. Lay Jab says, "Laughing my ass off. You have a W6, you're a little gay." He's a little gay. Come on, he knows he's a little gay. Well, I can't remember half the password. It sucks 2 letters off. Okay. Ice Huckball says, at Matt 107, he's going to say 4 innovations every single time. Guys, every other fuel system I have seen in a car that has the word budget next to it always runs out at about 13 to 14 psi in the 85. If you have stock rails and you got stock lines, but you have a hat, a couple of relays, and some twin pumps, that's not enough. That's not enough. It's not enough. You need a 4 innovations fuel system with -8 lines or -6, whatever. A regulator that's boost reference, so that boost goes up 1-to-1 with fuel pressure goes up 1-to-1 with boost, and 2 pumps running constant. So the 4 innovations fuel system with the FC2 or FC3 controller, in my opinion, is the best setup out there because I've never, again, guys, I've never had an issue with the 4 innovations fuel system. I have always had a issue with a budget fuel system over 13 or so PSI. Not once or twice, every single time there has been an issue on the 85 with about 13 or 14 PSI with a budget style fuel system. Plain and simple. Sorry, saving you guys money. I've had guys buy fuel systems twice and they learned their lessons. Okay, Matt 107 says, "My bad, give me another $50, you psychopath." It says, "My bad, it's a Gen 3 stage 2. So Gen 3 Whipple, I still think you need low 3s, like a 325. I think a 325 on a Gen 2 should be able to make 800. I don't think you need like a 2 something, like a 2.9 or a 2.875. I think a 3.125 or 3.25 might be able to get you to 800. I wish I knew the pulley chart off the top of my head. I know TVS pulleys pretty well, and I know Paxton pulleys pretty well, Paxton and Vortec pulleys. I don't know Pro Charger, and I don't know Whipple pulley charts all that well. And Kenny Bell has a nice pulley chart on their website. So as long as you can get about 14 PSI on the Gen 3 head unit and E80 and an E85, I think that should make close to 800. Michael Charlton says, "I got a Gen 2 long tube free flowing exhaust, Paxton 3.3 blower for stage 2 with rails, twin 65s, upgraded lines, a 1320 ported Boss manifold. How close to 900 do you think I can get?" Not with a 3.3. You need a 3.1 and you need like a 3.1 at least, because Coyote What's his name? Cuban Coyote. Cuban Coyote needed about a 3.1 or even a 2.95 to make that kind of power on a Gen 2. Jake Birch says, I have a 2017 Gen 2 he's instilling an 18 stock cold air. And I'm getting a flex tune. Do I need to upgrade anything fuel-wise? If you have a cold air 17 Gen 2 installing 18 stock cold air, as long as you have the stock manifold, you do not need any injectors. If you have an 18 plus manifold, you do need aftermarket injectors for flex tuning. Mustang Gang says, big fan Alex, my name is Barry. Barry my cockiner. So are you cousins with Ice Swallow Cum or Ice Huck Cock? Ice Huck Cock and Ice Swallow Cum, they're cousins. But Barry McCockiner might be like their uncle. Yo, Alex, thoughts on the Voodoo? Love the Voodoo. Don't love the resonance. Don't love the resonance. Don't love the flat plane crank design for big power. But man, at about 800 wheel, it's hard to beat the sound and the performance of a 5.2 Voodoo motor. Oof, it's a bunch of fun. I have a 2017. I already got Jake Birch. I got El Coyote. What will it take to run a 920, 950? I have a VMP Gen 3R with Gen 2 illuminator with supporting mods. Smoking, I don't know if your car is a Gen 1. I don't know if your car is a manual. I don't know if your car is an auto. I have no idea. I guess I'm going to guess if it's an auto, you need 900 wheel or so at about 3,800 pounds because I have no idea what car you got. A converter, suspension, Vikings, drive shaft, E85, the whole 9 yards. You'll need everything, smoking Nitto, because I don't know what the fuck you got. For all I know, you have a truck. Everyone's like, Voodoo, bleh. Yeah, the Voodoo isn't, not everyone loves the Voodoo. There's oil consumption issues with it, and a lot of people don't love the oil consumption issues. But honestly, when you get a Whipple or a Vortec behind a fucking Voodoo or a twin turbo kit like Randall Hadid has in his GT350, and you get in it and you hear the sound and you see the revs go to 8,200 like nothing, there's nothing like that. There's nothing like that anywhere in any car, domestic car anyway. All these guys are a part of the We Sofa King retarded gang. Oh my God, that's so, the Sofa King retarded. Adam Evineski says, we need to get some tires for the winter. Running stock Pirellis that don't hook when it's warm. Recommendations? Blizzax. Fucking Blizzax. I lived and died by Blizzax in the winter when I was up there. All right, I'm going to get ready to get the hell out of here. It's been an hour and a half, so I'm going to slowly make my way out of here because, you could see the current viewers almost hit 700 today. And actually, is there analytics? What's the max at one point? Nah, no point. It was like 690 or something. But, once it gets under 650, high fives, that's when I start going, okay, I'm going to duck out of here. Steve D says, speaking of Voodoo, what's up with your Voodoo project? I thought you said something about a motor project. What I'm going to do eventually with the red car, once everything is said and done, is I thought I was going to put a 5.2 in the red car with a 6R80, but that means I'd have to build the current motor that I have because it's like a rebuildable core. After getting quotes for that rebuildable core, it was going to run me $5,000+ to build a stock Voodoo. And I said, well, fuck that. I'll just take the heads off of the Voodoo and put them in the red car. Maybe sell the red car's heads because that's their Gen 2 heads. And then, or keep them and build a 5.2 motor using the Voodoo block with a conventional style crank later down the road. A 5.2 Coyote with Gen 2 heads, port them bitches out, send them to Schlock or something like that, and then I'll have parts. So that's probably what I'm going to do because it doesn't make sense to build a stock Voodoo for $5,000. I could just take the heads, shove them on this motor right here, run it ragged till it blows the fuck up, and have a built 5.2 ready to go. That's the plan, brother. YouTube Corrupt and Free Speech. What's up, brother? Haven't seen you in a bit. See you, brother. Enjoy the show as always. You'll see me tomorrow. A lot to talk about on that dating channel tomorrow. That's going to be a bunch of fun. A lot of things happen over the weekend that I'm going to tell you guys about, personal shit. So if you guys are not fans of the that dating channel, go on over there and check it out tomorrow. There'll be a live session, and then I'll start sprinkling in videos. I am off all week, so I got tons of things to work on. I'm going to try to get a massage. No rub and tugs because, right? But actually, you might want to get a rub and tug now because Robert Kraft is not going to get indicted. They're just going to let him go. He got his nut, and he's good. Unbelievable. Big fan Alex. Okay, Mustang Gang says, no, I don't know them. My cousin Dan Glezak. Dan Glezak? What's he supposed to try to say? Glezak? Dan Gleesack. I don't know. It's eluding me what he's trying to tell me. James Russell says, recommend injectors for Gen 5 Whipple shooting for 1,000 mark. Thoughts on MFP crank support? MFP crank support is badass. The innovators, in my opinion, when it comes to the Coyote stuff. I just shipped a GT500 GT500 crank support for Mr. Wendell from MFP. He won it last week, and thank you, MFP, for providing that so we can do the giveaway. I love them. I love them when it comes to supercharged applications to make sure that there's less deflection on the crank. If you need injectors that are able to support over 1,000, 1,300s is hard to beat. They're a great injector. I wouldn't really bump up to 1,700s. I don't think you need it, but over 1,000, 1,300s are more than enough. Kamana Levy says, Gen 1 Coyote daily weekend dig car. What's a blower recommended to make 792 pump or E? When it comes to 700 on pump gas, I prefer the Whipple Gen 3. Gen 1 Coyote, shit. I prefer the Whipple on that setup. The Gen 2, for whatever reason, and knock sensors on a Gen 1, like a TVS, like a Gen 2, Gen 2R, the TVS, in my opinion, on pump gas, at wanting that kind of power, knock sensors are going to be your main culprit. Now, if you can get a Gen 3, you might be able to get 700 with some Torco, but on ethanol, you said or E. On ethanol, any blower, really. You can make 700 on any blower on a Gen 1. You could do it on a fucking Edelbrock 2300 if you want. So honestly, it all depends on how you want it to look under the hood. I didn't read the last part where it says or E. So Gen 2, Gen 2R, or Whipple, you'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't overthink it. Magdaleno Mancilla, Fairmont. Yes, tomorrow I'm going to take the Fairmont to par by the hour, and I'm going to try to align the pulleys and make hits on the dyno if the dyno is operational. If not, I'll make hits on the street, and I'm going to reconfigure the fuel system because I think I'm going to run out of fuel already, and then I'll get you guys video on that. John Goodenough says, Adam, okay, would you ever wife swap with an LS dude? If I blow her back out. LS dudes with no dick, she wouldn't want to go back. Blowing her back out. Come on, now we got him. 50 Primo says, any experience with killer chillers? If so, thoughts? Need help to heat soak? Look, man, they work. Look at Coyote Car Guy. Go to Coyote Car Guy's channel. He tells you everything about killer chillers on his last video. I think he put a killer chiller or has access to a guy who has a killer chiller on his setup. The Demon has a killer chiller. A lot of Cadillac guys run killer chillers. I think it's a good way of keeping IATs low, but you got to reconfigure a bunch of shit underneath. You got to have the AC running all the time, and it shuts off at watt, but it still keeps everything cool. So apparently it works real well. I just don't like the way it looks. Honestly, every single time I see a killer chiller set up under the hood, I go, I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of that bullshit. Arizona stock Gen 3 stock NA A10 E85 running another. We've done that. We did that 2 years ago. Molina, we did that 2 years ago. Long time ago. It's been done. We've been nines. Talk to Stida. And if you say stock NA, Gen 3 stock NA, well, we did it with our personal car. We went 1089 or 1098 or something in 2017. That's right. Late 2017 when the AT Mustang came out. Molina, we went 10s way back then with a stock airbox. That's what I think. What's going on with El Donk, a.k.a. Fairmont? Again, tomorrow I'm going to do some, I'm not going to release video, but I'm going to work on it because I haven't had time. I have no fucking time. I work all the time. And you know why I took a week off? So I can work on the fucking cars. And then maybe one day go get a massage somewhere. That's it. 410 gears for a 2014 Mustang 6R80 NA. What do you think? That's fucking stupid. Coyote GT, don't do it. 373s max. Update from PVH. If local emissions is an issue, the PVH wiring harness support adding downstream motor sensors and EVS system. You can activate it in the tune. Cool story, Reginald. There you go. Thank you. I just purchased the drag kit. All right, there you go. There you go, Shelby Dave. All right, I'm going to get out of here. It's getting to the mid 500s, so that means people are going PC later. For those of you that watch that dating channel, you'll be on tomorrow, 8 o'clock or so. I'll talk some shit. For those of you that want an SETX4, make sure you have the highest liked comment on this video. And next week, I will give you an SETX4. And I don't care what you do with it. You can sell it. It's sealed. I've never opened it. You can do whatever the hell you want. They retail for about $400. So I'm literally giving you at least $350 right here just for having the highest liked comment on your shit. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Anyone else that had questions. Sorry, I'm going to get the fuck out of here. So stay tuned on this channel. I'm going to try to bring you red car content, fair mark content this week. I'm going to try to pump out 3 videos this week before Sunday. That's why I took the time off to get you guys content and get the cars worked on. Aside from that, those of you that see my dating channel, I'll see you guys tomorrow.